Welcome to Fett's Legacy, everyone. Today we have a very important and exciting topic to talk about. We're not going to be talking about the Bad Batch today, sadly, guys. We're going to be talking about the return of Boba Fett. Now, guys, we have gotten some new leaks and rumors about the return of Boba Fett, and this is very exciting news for myself and fellow Boba Fett fans. So if this includes you, then hit that like button and subscribe for this video, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And guys, we're about 25 subscribers away from 500 subscribers, so if you could share this video and you could help me hit that goal of 500 subscribers, it would mean a lot to me. And I do plan on doing a giveaway for an Amazon gift card once I do hit that 500 subscriber mark. So let's get straight into the video, guys. So this report comes from Making Star Wars, which is a pretty reputable source, and they say that Boba Fett is coming back. Making Star Wars claim new Boba Fett props, including the Slave One's cockpit, are being made for a Disney Plus series. It's not confirmed which series yet, but we do know that it is not for his potential return in The Mandalorian Season 3, as all these set designs and props would have already been designed by now. This is currently being made, so it cannot be for Mandalorian Season 3, as everything should be done by now, and I mean, obviously the show comes out in a matter of days. So it could be for a future series that is not Book of Boba Fett Season 2, but I really don't see what series that would be. It can't be for the Acolyte. It's a completely different time. I don't see why he would show up in Ahsoka, and I don't even know if the Lando show is being made. So it's really pointing towards a Book of Boba Fett Season 2, which makes the most sense and would be the best case scenario. So sources do believe that it is for the second season of the Book of Boba Fett. Although it's not clear whether a second season of Star Wars The Book of Boba Fett is on the way, Making Star Wars believes a second show could film alongside Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 4. Either way, with new props being made, it's clear the return of Boba Fett will be happening one way or another. Source Making Star Wars. Now, I definitely want to give credit to them. That is a great report, and I'm definitely happy to see it. I'm a massive Boba Fett fan. I've been waiting for news for a Book of Boba Fett Season 2. I was actually hoping we would get it at the D23 Expo for Star Wars, hoping that maybe we'd get a trailer and a reveal, but sadly we did not. But considering how the first season of the Book of Boba Fett was revealed at the end of Mandalorian Season 2 after his return to the big screen, which was absolutely incredible. No one can tell me otherwise. I loved his episode in The Mandalorian, and then when I saw he was getting his own show, I was extremely ecstatic, and his show did have some issues, I will say that, but overall I do think it was a good show. I think it gets a lot of hate, and I think it could really benefit from a second season. So considering how the first season was revealed to us at the end of Mandalorian Season 2, I think it is highly likely that the second season would be revealed to us at the end of Mandalorian Season 3. You know, after Boba Fett does probably show up in the season to help Din Djarin on his journey, or with something. I do feel that we will see Boba Fett in the show. We saw Mando in the Book of Boba Fett. We saw Boba Fett in Mandalorian Season 2. I just feel like they are kind of interconnected, and they will be popping up in each other's shows for every season and at least one episode. They're good friends at this point, and they are there for each other when the other one needs them. So I do really like that relationship between the two of them, and I do think that eventually we will see Boba Fett in the show. We do know that Din actually does go to Tatooine, because we do see in one of the trailers that Peli Motto does join him, and he's on Tatooine talking to her. So I feel like if he's on Tatooine talking to Peli Motto, then he would definitely go and recruit Boba Fett, and probably Fennec, maybe even Chrysanthemum as well, to help him in a major fight, possibly against Moff Gideon or Bo-Katan, who could be the antagonist, but I do think there will be someone else to fight. Maybe we could get Thrawn eventually. I have been mentioning Thrawn so many times now. I know you guys might be tired of it. I just really want to see Thrawn in live action, and they've brought him up, and I don't see why we can't get him now. Maybe they're saving him for the Ahsoka series, or maybe they might introduce him at the end of Mandalorian Season 3, kind of like how they did with Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett, or Moff Gideon at the end of Mandalorian Season 1, to introduce the new big bad for the next series, and definitely Thrawn is that big bad. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where they take this show, and seeing what happens with Boba Fett, and hopefully he does get a second season, and hopefully he does join Din Djarin in the Mandalorian fight. because we do know that Din will actually be returning to Mandalore. We saw it in the trailers. And I'm assuming that there might be different clans and tribes trying to gain control of Mandalore, maybe get the Darksaber from Din, and maybe he has his own followers, which we do see in the trailer that he has some people following him. And of course, Boba Fett does not care about this, but he definitely cares about Din Djarin and would definitely want to help him if he was in trouble. So I'm definitely expecting to see Boba Fett and possibly Fennec Shand at some point in the season. I'm hoping we do. And possibly at the end of the season, we could get the reveal of the Book of Boba Fett Season 2, which could bring in so many different cool things and really expand on the first season, which I do think was a good stepping stone. And I feel like it gets a lot of hate online, and I feel like a lot of people, I don't want to call a lot of people out, but a lot of people just see other people hating on it. It's become kind of the popular thing to hate on the Book of Boba Fett. But if you really look at episode by episode, the Star Wars content that we got, it really was not that bad. And if you compare it to Mandalorian Season 1, personally, I feel like it is better than Mandalorian Season 1. And if you just look at it as a stepping stone for the next few seasons, I think it was a great first season. And I definitely see where it could get even better and where the writing could improve, some of the action could improve. I'm not saying it was a perfect show. I know there were some flaws, but overall, the Star Wars content, in my opinion, was really good. And I do recommend that everyone go and give it a rewatch. And try thinking to yourself as you're watching it, what makes the series so bad? What is wrong with it? And think about what actually the series did right. I do think that there were a lot of things. We saw a lot of great characters. We saw a lot of great action. I saw some really great stuff like the Rancor scenes, obviously Cad Bane back in live action. The train episode 2 was great. Boba Fett escaping the Sarlacc was absolutely phenomenal. I love the Tusken scenes, and I love Black Chrysanthemum, of course. I did mention the Rancor, but even his bond with the Rancor was just really cool to see. Him getting the Slave One back, him killing the Sarlacc pit, saving Fennec Shand. A lot of great stuff happened in the season. Obviously, we have the Mando episodes and Luke and Grogu's arc, which even though, maybe the writing wasn't the best, maybe cutting Boba Fett out of his own show wasn't the best decision, and I do agree that that wasn't a great decision. But if you just look at those episodes on their own as Star Wars content, you cannot tell me that those are not some of the best Star Wars episodes ever. And I know they don't include Boba Fett, but the last 3 episodes of the show were absolutely phenomenal. And I do think that episode 2 and 4 were also really good. Episode 1 was a bit slow, but had some good stuff. I do think episode 3 was probably the worst. Overall, I only think 1 of 7 episodes was lackluster, and I don't think that's enough to say that the show was horrible or bad, as some people would say. I think people got caught up in the Power Ranger memes and got caught up in the spin move from Scad, I think his name is, the cyborg kid. I think a lot of people got caught up in those things and the online hate, and it kind of just blew up because as I was watching some even other YouTubers' reviews of episode by episode, they would say, oh, this episode was good, I like this episode, maybe besides episode 3. Pretty much the reception of every episode was good. And then at the end of the season, everyone just kind of started hating on it, and I think it kind of just became popular to hate on it. So I definitely recommend everyone go give it a rewatch and really think about the show, what it could have done better. I'm not saying it was perfect, but I definitely think a season 2 would be absolutely phenomenal. I hope this is true. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want a second season of the Book of Boba Fett? I certainly do. Let me know down in the comment section below. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to help us hit 500 subscribers, and keep an eye out for that giveaway I did mention earlier on that will be coming as soon as I hit 500 subscribers. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.